Hey guys, this is Bark Blood Soldier here, and this is part 3 on what if Deku had Krystal abilities. Welcome to UA, and I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. When she was on the flight, Sumi was off the airplane and was in Japan, and Sumi was looking around, seeing lots of people with different looks. Like, one has a animal feature just like her a bit. One has a look to him that she never seen. And some have even weirder looks. And Sumi then hears her security person to follow him, and when they got out of the door of the airport, Sumi then sees a new world of vast technology that she never seen, and was more amazed because in episode 1 and 2 she really didn't have much to experience besides episode 2, where she experienced new technology like the jet, and Sumi was amazed by looking all of the. But Sumi also gets a little worried that she wouldn't fit in a sort of speaking. I mean, her quirk is part of the society, but she is a little worried. But the security guard then whispers to her, "Relax, it's fine. The scientist told me that your DNA composition is near identical to ours, making you a sort of a Homo sapien, but you're a long-lost relative of us." And Sumi then thinks and smiles about that, and goes and then leaves to find the place that she is scheduled to live in Japan. And the bodyguard then has a flashback on that, what the scientist told him. And the scientist says, well, Sumi's whole DNA is identical to the Homo sapiens. Not a 100%, but near to a 9999999.8%. It's honestly hard even for a DNA scanner to deal with. But she is a new type of a new human being subspecies. I would say the Homo novana, the newest iteration of the human generation, making her the most identical to all of the humans that were in the Jurassic area. Her body composition takes form of 100% human thinking, and her strength is far outweighing. But it's her vast adaptability on thinking of the new generation impresses me the most. Just keep an eye on her awareness and don't make any problems for her. She's already eased up on the new gen for her, but we'll take it slow. And the security guard then puts his hand on his head and thinks to himself, so she's basically a prehistoric Amazon. Well, that's fun. And the security guard then walks to Sumi and keeps a good range of keeping her protected, but not as a 24/7. It's more out of watching what she could do. He also remembers in the prologue, she was encased by ice and survived over millions of years of encased by ice in Antarctica. And while they were walking, the security found the apartment for Sumi and says, okay, this is your apartment. It'll be just for you. You'll get your UA uniform if you finish your tests. And Sumi then nods and says, I'll work hard to do it. And the security guard says, okay, just be careful of villains, okay? You're very... And Sumi cuts him off and says, yes, I know. I'm very valuable. You don't need to tell me. I've been stuck in there for a while, like when I was age 3. So it would be fine enough to figure it out. And the security guard says, Okay, you're now about 14, so just keep yourself very warned about these things, okay? And Sumi then nods and says, I'll try to entertain myself by doing some things I've never done. And the security guard says, I'll supervise you for a bit and see how you do. And Sumi then says, okay. And then the security guard shows her how to make clothes by showing her the washer machine and other ways to clean clothes, and cooking, showing her how to cook and everything, and showing her the different places of the apartment, and showing her how the TV works and how to take a shower or a bath. And Sumi then says, this is amazing. I forgot how much countries differ from others. And the security guard says, I know you already done the bath session with UK, but in Japan it's different a bit. Not too terrible, but pretty different too, so. And Sumi then says, thank you. I'll do my best. And the security guard says, alright, just don't burn down the apartment. And Sumi says, I won't. And Sumi was in the apartment by herself. And the security guard then leaves. And then he goes to the other place, a little far from Sumi. And the security guard says, alright, how's our patient? And then was in another place, keeping an eye on Sumi. And one of the men says, sir, we got all cameras on her, keeping every track of her move. If anything goes wrong with this, or anybody attacks her, we'll come in and take them down. And the security guard then says, alright, but leave her be on some. We don't want her to be that suspicious. And the men says, yes, we'll keep a wary eye, but we will leave her be on these occasions because she is very strong. And the security guard says, whatever, just keep an eye on her. Right, we know she can handle herself. We don't know what else she can handle. And security guard thinks this is going to be a little overdue. But, alright, Project Operation Snow Globe is on set. And all the men says, right. And Sumi was in her apartment, looking all curiosity and still amazed on the look. She never really been into a different room. And then she thinks and looks around. I think it needs a bit more cleaning. Looking at it from her view. And Sumi then makes some new cleaning and fixing up a little bit, making it well fitted for her. And she made her own meal and made it for a simple but effective rice porridge. And Sumi says, wonder how it tastes. Sumi then puts her legs down and then says this word, Irikasimasu. And she then digs in and thinks to herself, I only learned that word when I was hearing someone say it. And I looked it up and it means thanks for the food. And Sumi then tries it and then takes a bit of time to register some of the food that she never tried. Even her cooking has never been challenged on this one. And Sumi then never tried this meal ever in her life, but it was good to her. And it was her first time trying it either, too. But it doesn't mean that she was poorly bad cook. She was just never done it before with Japanese food. I mean, she has cooked something in the UK and was in a project experiment, but it's still impressive that she figured it out. And Sumi even says, Japan food is very interesting, but I should get some rest. I need to go to school to do the preliminary exam. And Sumi then sleeps. Sumi then gets ready in the next morning to go to UA. And she walks to UA with not much effort and then using the phone that she has received from the security guard and looks at it. So UA is somewhere there. And she then finds it and says, wow, it looks so big. And Kazumi was impressed on how it looks and how amazing it is to see. And seeing all the students going to UA is impressive. It really is that popular. She then gives a smile and Sumi then walks to UA. And she's in the preliminary exam, making her in Shoto's one. And Sumi then stretches, getting ready to do her best. And she then sees Shoto, a red-haired boy with white hair on a half side with a scar mark. And Sumi then looks at him. He is very interesting. He reminds me of someone. And Sumi then goes to him and says, hi, my name is Sumi Midoriya. It is very nice to meet you. And then the red and white haired boy says, oh, hi, who are you? And he looks at her and he sees a beautiful girl that looks like a fashion model with her looks, but also very athletic, making her look like an Olympic athlete. And her eyes have glistened like a aurora and blue hair that is so silky looking with a tail of a fox and seeing ears. I'm taking a guess your quirk is called Arctic Fox. And Sumi says, right, it's my name. I didn't get your name, but you figured out my quirk. And the boy says, it was easy to figure out just by looking, but I'll tell you my name. My name is Shoto Todoroki. And Sumi then says, Shoto Todoroki. It's very nice to meet you. And Sumi then looks at him with a gracious smile and says, I was just looking at you for a second when I was getting in, and you remind me of someone. And Shoto says, who do you mean? And Sumi then says, you remind me of that man that defrosts me, or saved me. And Shoto then says, who is that man? Sumi then thinks, I haven't got his name, but his name when I was in a pitch was, I think it was when I heard from. When she thinks of the name, she reminisces her past and her scientist as Endeavor. Endeavor! And Shoto then gets pissed on what she said. And Sumi says, did I hit a nerve? And Shoto says, don't compare me to him. And Sumi says, what do you mean? And Shoto gets absolutely pissed on what he heard. I am nothing like him. And Sumi says, sorry if I offended you. I didn't know. And then Shoto then realizes what he's doing and takes a deep breath. Wait, so you don't know him? And Sumi then says, no, I don't know him. I'm from the UK, not used to heroes like him. And Shoto then confused on what he heard. Heroes? Well, you're from UK. Guess it's fine. Won't get angry out of no reason. And Sumi then says, why are you angry at him? And Sumi then says, is he related to you? And she sees Shoto ice his right side, and his head gets a little heated. And Sumi says, never mind. I didn't mean to involve you with that. You don't know? Fine, he's my father. And Sumi was shocked to hear. Wait, really? Oh, seems like he's a very nice. And Shoto then says, he's not nice. And with a grudge sound of anger, Sumi was hearing his son say something out of nowhere. Then President Mike says, alright you guys, it's time to do some tests. Get ready to go and run. And Sumi and all of the hero students like Shoto get ready. And Sumi then says, alright, I hope we have a fair match. And Shoto says, fair warning, you're allowed to use your quirk. And Sumi then says, alright. And Sumi then gets ready. And all the students side by side with him were getting ready. And President Mike says, get set and go! And all the students get running and use their quirks. All of them use their quirks. One was swimming in land and moving fast, and Shoto was using his ice to slide as fast as he can. But Sumi then just keeps running as fast as she can, taking near second with Shoto. And Shoto then looks behind him. She's fast. I wasn't expecting. And Sumi then waves in complete happiness to see Shoto in front of her. And Sumi then says, I'm going to use my quirk. And Shoto then says, what do you mean by? And Sumi then creates her own version of ice, sliding with the ice at great speed. And Shoto then sees how fast she's sliding. She's creating ice to make herself appear fast, but it was her running start that made her fast. And Shoto was a bit impressed on what she can do. But when she was almost getting to first to finish the line, a person said, alright, I'll show you my power! And then Sumi then looks and sees, and sees a boy that was flying in the air with wind. And Sumi then was impressed that he can use wind, and then flies at great speeds. And Sumi then thinks, well, it's going too fast. And then Sumi then runs on her ice and shoots more ice to slide as fast as Inasa can. And Inasa was impressed on Sumi's speed. And then Sumi then uses deep breaths. Okay. And then she slides with full speed on her body. Woohoo! And making it faster than Inasa. And then Sumi then realized, oh no, I can't stop. She made it to first place, but she can't stop. Then Sumi then creates another snow to make a comfy crash. And Sumi then braces for impact and attack, then crashes into her snow. And Sumi says, well, I think I accidentally go a little overboard. And Inasa says, whoa, that was amazing. You put your whole body in line on that. And Sumi says, thanks, but I was mostly trying to keep pace to the speed. I was mostly using my inertia. And Inasa says, it's still amazing. You were keeping pace with others with that Arctic Fox quirk you have. And Sumi says, thanks. Gratitude on that. And Shoto says, it's impressive, but you need work on your ice manipulation. And Sumi says, no problem on that, and I'll always try to get better. And Shoto was a bit happy on her statement, oddly enough, to him. But then, well, Sumi has made it to UA and was going to Class 1A. And Sumi then having a great time doing some active training. Sumi then says, this reminds me of when I was in the forest trying to search some plants and some great things to eat, like some bananas. And Sumi then gets back to her apartment and says, alright, time to make some dinner. And Sumi then got some fish from the grocery store and then made some unique look using the rice and seaweed mixed with vegetables like carrots, bits of cucumber, and she made herself sushi. And Sumi says, I never made these back in the past. I can try one and make one for myself. And Sumi then gets one and thinks, it's a weird thing for me, but it tastes really great. Maybe I should always have a diet on different types of food on a limit. And Sumi then practiced her fighting style, making sure that she hasn't lost her past abilities. Using her bow staff, she swings with grace and quick on the fly and swift as a praying mantis with every swing that she makes. And she flies like a monkey with grace on its side. And Sumi then says, whew, still got it. Now I gotta get some rest and get ready for UA. And while she was doing that, the security team says, Captain, Project Snow Globe is taking a rest. Sumi is on her day to go to UA. And the security guard says, good, it seems we can figure out her skills and know her much more. And the man says, the fighting style is not Chinese. They're primordial. They're not filled with any martial art she knows. But she's surprisingly well adapted to fighting with bow staff. This is gonna be interesting. Looks like it was 5 million years of Chinese martial arts instead of 5,000 years. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time. Blossom.